This is Upper Sokpomba, Benin City. A place where the streets are lined with noisy traders and buses rushing past with horns and bus conductors shouting, "Third Junction. Third Junction." A place where young men and women are known to be tough and unyielding. A place of loud enjoyment and heightened struggles. There lived a girl named Baby. Yes, Baby. Her birth name was forgotten by most people. From childhood, everyone called her Baby, a nickname her late father had given her. To him, she was precious. To him, she was a light. But when her father passed away too soon, that light seemed to dim in the eyes of everyone else. Her mother did not see her as a blessing. Instead, she saw Baby as different, as a child who brought only trouble. "Don't play with her," her mother would tell the other children. "She will only bring you problems." Her brothers and sisters obeyed. Slowly, they turned their backs on Baby. At mealtime, she was pushed aside. During play, she was left out. Even the neighbors began to whisper. "Something is wrong with that girl, every time she's carrying her face," they said. "She is not like the others. She's never happy." And so, from the dusty streets of Sokpomba to the narrow rooms of her family house, Baby grew up unwanted, unloved, and unappreciated. Baby carried her ordeal silently. At night, while the rest of the house slept, she cried into her pillow. She longed for her mother's embrace, but all she heard were harsh words. "You will never amount to anything. You are a burden. You bring misfortune to this family." Those words caused her palpitations and panic involuntarily. She learned to live quietly, shrinking her presence, hoping to grow up soon so she would take charge of her life. But the years passed, and nothing did. By the time Baby became a young woman, the rejection had carved scars deep inside her. She tried to live a normal life. She searched for work. She begged for opportunity of a sales girl in Forestry Road, Lagos Street, and Mission Road. All attempts fell on rocky grounds. She sold ice cream in traffic, but the business failed. She tried farming in her father's land, the crop didn't do well. She even attempted to start a small food stand, but it collapsed after only a few months. Each failure reminded her of her mother's words. "Nothing good will ever come of you. Let me see the place that will contain you in this life." Her peers were advancing. Getting married, raising children, building homes, and relocating, Baby remained stuck in her mother's house, unwanted and no substance to her name. Bitterness filled her heart. She became withdrawn and jealous of people. She avoided public gatherings and avoided celebrations. She despised her own reflections. If her eyes rested on mirrors, she would quickly look away, like a child running away from the dark. She didn't fancy her own reflection. Baby was not her own fan, even though she was a work of art, fair to look upon. She dismissed men even before they approached her. Although she was always lonely, she didn't enjoy people's companies or her own company. One night, something unusual happened. Baby fell into a deep sleep. She found herself walking along a wide, empty land. A large expanse of land without trees or grass in sight. The wind blowing the dusty with so much vigor. The sky was dark. Pregnant with heavy cloud, as if it would rain in the next seconds. She was tired, barefoot, and her heart was heavy. She seemed lost and hungry. There were no place to rest. Then suddenly, a light appeared from a distance. She thought she saw a flash but couldn't see from whence it came or the end of the distance. A man clothed in white walked toward her, his face shining. Baby could not put a name to the face. He looked peaceful, yet so fierce. "Baby," he called softly, smiling. She trembled. Who are you?" The man smiled. "I am the one who sees you." At once, Baby fell to her knees. She could not focus on the light. It was too bright for her eyes. Tears poured down her cheeks. She looked at his feet. "You really see me? Why does no one else see me?" she cried. "Why do all my days look the same? Why do new things not happen in my life?" The man reached out his hands and lifted her gently. His voice was calm, yet so sharp. "You are mine. You are loved. Before you were formed, I knew you. You are not a mistake. I made you for a reason. When baby woke up, her pillow was soaked with tears and sweat, but her heart felt lighter than it had ever been. She looked at the time on her phone screen. She wondered how time flew past so soon. From that day, there was a significant shift. She began reading the Bible. She would read a chapter of the Bible every day. Every single line spoke to her. Comfort began to climb into her heart. Words like, "Even if your father and mother forsake you, the Lord will receive you." Those words became medicine to her enlarged heart. For the first time, she dared to look in the mirror. She smiled at her own reflection. Her glow was becoming palpable. She told herself, "I am loved. I am not what they said I am." At her church in Upper Sokpomba, a kind woman noticed her. The woman ran a bakery shop and offered to teach baby how to bake cakes and make small chops. Baby grabbed the opportunity. Day and night, she practiced. Her recipes were neat, baking were unique. She would make donuts and buns at 5 a.m. and go sell them at primary schools. Soon, customers began to notice. With her earnings, she rented a single-bedroom apartment for herself. It was small. It wasn't anything extraordinary. She would choose the life she had now, 1,000 times over the one she had with her mother. She would always say to herself, "A house is not a home. A home is where peace resides." One evening during a fellowship service, baby met Chinedu. He was gentle, hardworking, and drawn to her quiet strength. Unlike others, he saw something different. He saw the light. Underneath the facade of anger and withdrawal, the truth was carefully folded. At first, they were friends, then became more. Love grew between them like a flower blooming after rain. When Chinedu asked for her hand in marriage, baby wept. Not because she was sad, but because for the first time in her life, someone had seen her. On her wedding day, the same streets of Upper Sokpomba that once echoed with whispers of rejection, now rang with noise of her celebration. The Edo Cultural Group, named the Theatre Troupe of Benin, was invited to display the beauty of Edo heritage. Neighborhood women danced vigorously to the tune of Edo music. In excitement, some flung their legs in the air, their shoes flew over their heads. Atiti went back home, on bare feet. Her white pair of rubber shoe. The shoe she borrowed from her new neighbor was nowhere to be found. Children shouted her name joyfully. "Auntie baby. Auntie baby. Auntie baby." Her mother sat quietly among the crowd, her eyes hardened as always. Though she never spoke, her heart knew the truth. The daughter she had once rejected had been nurtured by a higher kind of love. A love so pure and free of comparison and segregation. Baby's life became a testimony. She shared her story with young girls in Sokpomba, telling them, "You are not a figment of people's careless imagination. You are God's masterpiece. As He sees you is exactly how you are. Never let rejection define you." The child who was once rejected became a woman glowing with faith, courage, and love. Every morning, as she looked in the mirror, she whispered the words she once heard in her dream. "I am loved. I am healed. I am free." And so, baby's life continued not in pain but in joy, healing, and a brand new life.